What's up, guys? Welcome back to the MA Sports Pod with me and Michael, and we're joined by a very special guest today, Gavin.
What's up? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So, Gavin's a big Niners fan, and we're going to be going over the Niners schedule as part of our schedule release series. So, how are your feelings on the team from this year, moving past that NFC Championship game from last year, Gavin?
I mean, obviously, seeing them go through the playoffs like that and then have that disappointing blowout was pretty kind of rough in the moment. I thought it would be a close game, but going into this year, I mean, we have a lot of like the same pieces. We didn't really lose any huge pieces to our team, so I think we'll still have a strong offense, still have a strong defense. The only thing that's really worrying me is how the quarterback situation will carry on into this year. It's still a little kind of messy in there, but we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard when you don't have a quarterback in that NFC Championship game.
Yeah, you had Christian
Not
McCaffrey taking snaps.
That was our
yeah,
third.
not even your fault, man.
Our third quarterback that went down over the year. I mean, that's unlucky, but to be honest, even with Purdy, I don't think we win that game, but would have been a lot closer.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So getting into week 1, we have the Steelers and 49ers. What do you think about that game?
I mean, if you look through both teams' depth charts, I don't think there's a single position that the Steelers are like better than the 49ers at. Like
Maybe QB.
maybe QB depending
week
on who
one.
starts. I'm not if it's Lance. I mean, I'm not a huge Lance guy. He hasn't really shown anything. Like he hasn't shown to be the number 4 pick in the draft at all.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But other than that, I mean, defense, 49ers, wide receivers can be a little bit debatable. George Pickens
I think
is really
49ers
good.
got that.
Still 49ers. So, in my opinion, I have the 49ers week 1.
I think they get stunned week 1 by the Steelers. Personally, I think the Steelers.
That's a hot take.
I think the Steelers stun them. Even though I hate the Steelers and Kenny Pickett, but I do think they stun them.
Yeah, you know what? So I'm with Mike here. Week 1, a lot of crazy things happen, and I just think it's a little bit unpredictable for every team. So if you're gonna pick a lot of upsets, I think week 1 is the week to do it. I think I'm gonna go Steelers here.
All right, hot take, but
But
see what happens.
week two they beat the Rams. Week 2.
They're not gonna drop two
Yeah,
shitty
week 2 they beat
in a
the
row.
Rams.
So not to say that the Steelers aren't a shitty team. They're kind of mediocre, but the Rams are. So I think they take that pretty easily.
Yeah, even it's away. It might be like even away games against the Rams. It's still like a 49ers dominated crowd. Like they don't really have any home field advantage there. So I still.
Oh yeah, that's what we were saying earlier in our Chargers video. Is like
The
in
Chargers
SoFi,
don't-
dude, like there's not really a home field advantage there.
Yeah.
Week 3.
On to the Giants.
You see, the Giants are kind of a interesting team. They have 1 week they'll play absolute shit, and the next week they'll show up like everywhere. So that's kind of that's a toss up. I mean, we have home field advantage. There's a couple factors to play depending on the QB situation. I think it could definitely be a close game, but
Thursday night you got here too.
I think I would go with the Niners in this game, honestly.
I agree. You're making the Giants travel to the West Coast on a Thursday night, short week, short practice, and the Niners are the better team to top it off. I'm taking the Niners.
All I'm saying is, if it is Brock Purdy, do you think that our defense is like that? I don't know. I don't think Brock Purdy's the best at reading defenses, but for their defensive line, I think the Giants'
He's
defense
very safe with the ball.
Yes, but
I don't think Purdy doesn't do a ton of flash things,
doesn't
but
do-
he really last year he didn't have many turnovers, and even if you look back at the turnovers, a lot of them weren't really his fault. Like Angelo said, he's very safe with the ball. So
yeah, but like with actually reading defenses, I don't think he's that strong at it. He's safe with the ball.
Well, I think the offense is kind of built in for him, and he
the
doesn't.
offense is very easy, but I think the defensive line will get to him a lot this game. But
well, we both have the Niners.
Yeah, obviously. But as a Giants fan, of course, I'm gonna say something.
Yeah. You gotta hype him up a little bit. So moving on to the Cardinals.
Cardinals get crushed.
So the Cardinals, a divisional game. I think it could be a little interesting here. I think the Cardinals are kind of a mediocre team going into this year. I don't think they're, but I don't think they're anything special. I
Oh,
think
I think they're pretty
it'll
bad.
probably be a pretty close game. But again, at Cardinals are away here. I think home field advantage comes into play here, and I see the Niners taking it in like a 3-point, one score game.
yeah, that's a good take. I mean, me and Mike have been pretty strong advocates against the Cardinals this year. But, when divisional comes into play, it's going to be close. But I think the Niners take it. You're at home. I'm giving it to the Niners too. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, yeah, same thing. Not too.
So on to the Cowboys here. I mean, this is a pretty heavyweight matchup. Honestly, I think these are two really good teams in the NFC, and probably or definitely give San Fran the upper hand here. Plus, they're at home,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna take San Fran in this one.
Honestly, obviously San Fran guy here, but taking out bias, I think they're both super strong teams. It'll probably be a high scoring game, but if I had to pick here, I think I would go with the Cowboys. I think they just have a little bit more of that offensive firepower that the 49ers kind of need to figure out at the beginning of the season, especially with the quarterback situation. So in this matchup, I'd probably take the Cowboys.
Yeah, I agree with Gavin here. I think the Cowboys are gonna take this one week 5, just because it's early in the year and they still need to get in a little bit of a flow offensively. Their defense will be fine, but I think it's all up to Dak here with his turnover problem like he had in the past season. So we'll see. But yeah, I like
Okay, so
yeah,
Cowboys in that one then.
yeah, I like the Cowboys in that one.
Now moving on to the Browns and Niners. We touched upon this in our Browns video, but we think the Niners handle business here. And then on to Vikings Niners. What are you thinking, Gavin?
So I think, especially if we look at last year, like the Vikings, obviously they had a really good record, but if you look through all their games, it was like 8 or 9 of their wins were all one score games and super close matchups. And you saw once they got to the playoffs, they couldn't hold up with what they were performing in the regular season. And I
Mm-hmm.
think by week 6, week 7, the 49ers have everything figured out in whatever offensive system they're choosing to do. And I just think they're the stronger team overall. So for this game, I'd go with the 49ers.
Yep. I think it could definitely be back and forth. I actually like the Vikings in this game. I think that Kirk Cousins is a little undersold on, and I don't know. I think it could be one of those surprise weeks. I just have a gut feeling about this one. What do you think, Mike?
I think it's gonna be a close game, but I do still think San Francisco still wins. But yes, it's gonna be a close game, I believe.
Okay, we'll put San Fran there. So on to Bengals Niners now.
Yeah,
Um,
we had
touched upon this earlier in our Bengals video, but we have the Niners in a shock. Well, I guess not really a shocker. These are two high-powered teams, but we just think at this
for
point in the
us it's a
year,
shocker. I think.
yeah, because we're so high on the Bengals. But and then we have the bye, and then down to the
They got
Jags.
a huge win against the Jags.
Yeah, big win against the Jags. What do you think about all these games, Gavin?
Honestly, I'm surprised with your guys' pick on the Bengals game over there. I know you're big Bengals guys, but I appreciate the praise for San Fran. But if I was probably doing that video with you, I think I would have gave my vote to the Bengals personally. But
Ooh.
definitely two high powered teams that by that time of the year they both have their shit figured out. So it's just a matter of who shows up to play on that day. And for the Jags, I would agree. I would agree for the Jags.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So now we have Tampa Niners. This is just Niners
Niners.
don't drop this game.
Yeah,
They won't
Tampa.
drop.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much a given for that game.
Mm-hmm. Now we have
Seattle.
Seattle. This is tough. This is divisional.
And,
It's
and
Thursday
Seattle's
night.
home. I
Yeah,
think
Seattle's at home.
Seattle has home field.
Thursday night. Yeah, I think Seattle takes us.
I'm
I,
taking Seahawks.
I honestly think this game will probably be a shocker for the 49ers and Seahawks take it and not even close.
Yeah, agreed here. Agreed there. Definitely.
What about week 13? I think same thing. Week 13.
Yeah, I
That,
think maybe I can't see them getting back on track against the Eagles here, unless maybe rematch. I don't know. What do you think, Evan?
I mean, I think the previous week Seattle shocks San Fran and steamrolls the Niners. Going into the next week against the Eagles, another high-powered team, coming off a huge loss and coming off that crushing championship game against the Eagles. I think the Eagles take it. I don't think the 49ers are taking that one.
Yeah,
I agree.
agreed with all those points there, and I think the Eagles are not
One of the best teams in the NFL.
proved maybe, but still like not really worse
In
at
preseason,
all.
they're definitely one of the heavy favorites to go all the way
Oh
again.
yeah, oh yeah, 100%. And then Niners Seahawks again. I don't think Seattle sweeps them. I think the Niners get a split here.
Yeah, I
In fact,
think they split it 1-1.
yeah. Um, Back to the Cardinals. I don't think it's a split. I think this is the divisional sweep. I just don't think the Cardinals are that strong of a team.
Uh, I don't know. I think they do split. I think they shock them. It's late in the season. I think the Cardinals win.
Okay, what do you
I'm,
think, Evan?
I think obviously divisional game up in the air, but at this point in the year, 49ers are figured out, and I don't think they're going to lose to the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals go 8-9 on the year. I don't think they're going to be anything special. So
Okay, so I'm gonna take the Cardinals here too. I just think I agree with Mike actually. Once he was making his points, I like the Cardinals.
We talked about that in the
Yeah, we talked
Baltimore.
about the Ravens one. Should be strong at home Monday night late in the year, and I think they can take on Washington away.
This I think it gets a little rocky here. I think Washington stuns them. Washington's a good young team. I actually like Washington in this game. They're home. I like them.
Okay, what do you think, Evan?
I think it'll probably be close at this point. Washington, especially, will probably be fighting for like that 6, 7 seed for the playoffs, maybe. But I don't think they can overpower the 49ers in this late in the year. So I would go with the Niners.
Agreed with that. So now to end the year off, Niners Rams going into Week 18, looking at 11-5. Not gonna have a bye probably, but looking like a lock for the
Yeah,
playoffs.
they could rest. So
They're
Uh,
probably out the division right now. So they're
yeah,
race with
depending
maybe.
on Seattle.
mm, I'll take the Rams because just so late in the year they're probably gonna rest their players.
Hmm. I'll take the Niners. Gavin, you could be the deciding.
Yeah, I mean, last game of the season, I think it depends on the Niners situation. If they're a playoff lock and either if they win the division for sure, I think they're resting their players. And also, if they can't win the division for sure, I think they're resting their players. And I think, granted the potential possibilities, they probably have a greater chance at resting their players. So I'd probably go with the Rams.
Okay. So we have 11-6 final record. Definitely going to make the playoffs with that.
Yeah,
Definitely strong, but could also be stronger. Again, this is one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NFC. So Super Bowl threat, and we'll touch upon them in our playoff predictions definitely because they're going to be there. But um, I think this is a good recap of their schedule here,
yeah, they have a tough schedule for sure, and they have a lot of 50-50 games that could go either way. Um,
especially for an NFC team with these NFC teams not being too great.
Yeah, normally with this strong of a team, like looking at the roster, you'd think they would maybe go 13, 12 wins at least, but they have a
Yeah.
pretty.
yeah, I
hmm
agree.
That's Seattle twice. You got the Eagles. You got the Vikings. Jags could be a flip. Bengals could also be a flip, though. We gave that to them. So, like, a lot could happen. But 11-6 looks good here for the Niners.
Yeah, I agree. All right, guys. Thank you so much to Gavin for joining us, and thank you guys for
Yes.
watching.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
See you guys.